Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. Lovely to see lots of people here ready and waiting. Some of you up earlier than normal, so that's good. I'd particularly like to send out a little get well and we're thinking of you to a few people who aren't quite so good at the moment. We've got Sheila Howells, whose family has been absolutely devastated by this awful virus, but I understand that she's now out of hospital as of last night. So I'd like to send her our good wishes to her. We've got Jill Cash, who broke her wrist or arm. I'm not quite sure which it was. So she's feeling a little bit under the weather. So good wishes to you. And also Linda. Linda is someone that comes to my classes, and she's just been told that she has got COVID. So we do not like to hear those stories, but we wish you all well. Oh, and someone's hurt their back as well. Oh, God oblige. Right, well, let's get into some craft then. We don't need to think about those things. Well, we do, but not just at the minute. So there we go. So we have got an old visit and a new visit, if you could call it such a thing, with some dies. And this lovely die here, the Slimline Bouquet Corner, was the emphasis on the last two classes, the February workshops that I've been doing. Not all of the classes are on that, but those classes have now finished. I'm going to use a little element of that, and I'm going to incorporate it with one of the Slimline Sun Ray panels, which is a really versatile design. So I'm going to be using some of that as well. And I thought we would make something a little bit different. So for those people that were on my workshops, you will already have this die. So this is another way that you might want to use the die that you've already got. And for those of you who haven't, there are literally a couple more of those ones left, and there are a few of these left as well. So if anyone would like to get them, they're over on the website. So let's have a go. So these two dies, they come with various different pieces. So this one here has got two dies, an outer die and an inner die. Inner die. And this one has got three pieces. This is an outer die, an inner die, and also a single flower on its own. And I'm going to be using different elements of all of those to make my card today. So I'm going to be using a DL card. So that's my base card. So that's the Slimline version. So we will fold that in half. And I've already cut myself out. And I can have purple if I want to, just in case there's certain people watching that says, you always do purple. I love you really. So I've gone for a purple background because I've gone for a dramatic-y type look. I've gone for this gradiated. Hopefully you can see that it's gradiated. And I'm also going for a bit of black and a bit of white. So lots of different colours. So this one is a piece of violet linen card. So that's going to go straight down. Not sure which glue I want to use today. What glue do we want to use? One that works. Oh, this one works today. So I'm going to put that straight on my background. Onto my main card. And that gives me just a little bit of a border all the way around. I've actually cut this one out with one of the Slimline Essential frames from Sue Wilson. So it's a combination of all. So that can go to one side for a minute because we have done with that. And then I'm taking, first of all, my gradiated piece of card. Now, this is something that we were using in a workshop, and this is an Angela Poole design. It's a paper pad with 300 GSM card, so it's really, really thick. And hopefully, I'm sure you can't see the proper colours, but at least you can see that we've got a gradation, and I've got half of a sheet there. And I want to use my inner die for this one, and this is for the Sunray one. Actually, I will cut out the outer one as well, because then it's all done. So I could use it for something else. So where do I want it to go? I want it to go so that I've got more purple on this side and then gradiating out. So I'm going to pop that into place. So it just gives yourself a little border all the way around in the centre there. like so. Whoops, put some pieces out of the way. So yes, we could gradiate with our own colour clouds and all sorts of things, our inks, but for this one we're just cheating a little bit. So I'm going to pop that into my machine and it's going to go through that way so that we've got the best way of cutting for our machine. Just pop that through. And I've already cut it out once in black. So I've cut out the same thing, but in black. And all these little pieces, well, I was going to say I've got them spare. In all honesty, I haven't. Because if I told you that I had, it would be fibbing. And I wouldn't fib to you. But I'll leave this in place if I can. Oh. You can obviously keep these in place and then you can use them for something afterwards. So this is going to go like that, okay, but it's going to go onto my card like that, and I think it looks lovely in that gradiated sort of way. So I'm going to sort of paper piece it, and I want my card to be a card opening that way. I could make it that way as well, but you need to decide when you're doing your sun rays which way round your card wants to be orientated before you even start. I suppose it does work both ways really, but I want it to go that way round, so therefore I want my semicircle piece to be on my hinge side there. Okay, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to cheat, as you usually do, and I'm going to pop it onto a sticky spec sheet so that I can get all the bits stuck nicely. I'm just going to put it on there and pick that up like so. Okay, and then I'm going to place that, let's get this out there so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to place that this way round, straight onto my mauve piece here. And if I can, whoops, if I can, I want to get it centralised, she says, hoping that I have done such a thing. More or less, more or less. So pop that into place so that's nice and flat. And then I'm going to take my pieces from this one and pop it into here. Do you know, even that looks pretty, doesn't it? You could even do a double card front like that, couldn't you? Looks pretty, very pretty. So I'm going to take my pieces out and I'm going to pop in, well, we know what that one is, so let's do that one first. We're going to pop in a bit of glue into the centre there and take my piece, which I can pop straight in. No messing, fits in there nicely. And then I'm going to start popping my pieces in. And why I'm going to do it like that is because if you look at these have got a really pretty stitch dot effect, which I think looks rather yummy. So I'm just going to go round. I'm going to miss one just in case I like it like that. That's just a thought as I was doing it. So that's, oh, hold on, let's pick this up. I might not like it like that, but it's just a thought as I was going round. Whether I want to fill it all in or just go every other one. Because I can, you know. How many of us start doing a card and we've got this plan in our head of what it's going to look like, and when you've actually done it, it doesn't look anything like that at all. Because as you were doing it, there was a different way round and you preferred it that way. Or it just went that way. All different reasons, eh? All different reasons. So let me just slot that in. What do you think? Do we like it like that? What do you reckon? I need to see if you like it like that, or do we fill it all in? Hold on. Oh, I can take these out now, can't I? So you see what I mean? As I cut the outer piece, I've also got that. So then if I put that on, grab a piece of black, So I could almost do a mirror image of it. That looks really lovely on black as well. So that you could do literally the pieces that I cut out from this black outline could go into there. So it's a bit of a twofer, isn't it? Two for the price of one. So we like it like that, all of them. I don't know. I can't decide. Is it too late to decide? I'm going to keep those to one side and decide in a minute, because I think I can probably get away with deciding in a minute. So let's put that to one side almost. And we've finished with that die for now. But I'm now going to bring in this one. And this one is the Bouquet corner. And I've already cut it out once, but I'm going to cut it out again with just, I don't need the outer die because I'm going to cut it about, so there's not much point. I can't really save this one much. So I'm just going to cut it out, and I'm using coconut white so that it's not a really stark white. And I'm just going to run that through my machine. Takes forever when you want it to hurry up, doesn't it, eh? There we go. Just remove that. Oh. And then you can see that we've got this corner die. It's really pretty, but what I want to do is chop out this flower down here. So I'm just going to I'm going to follow the lines of the actual design so that I can try and get some sort of background to it as well. So that we can almost follow it around. I can tidy it up in just a second. I just want to trim that. And then I want to trim down my leaves as well. So there and here as well. Got to concentrate when I do this one, you know. There we go. So I've now got a flower with the leaves joined to it. And I've also got one that I did earlier. So then I'm going to grab myself a piece of paper, she says, hopefully. So instead we will use it on a blending mat, which is also really what we should be doing. I'm going to take one of the quick dry pigment inks, and this one, unfortunately, they don't have the names on, but this one is the sort of very light purpley colour, which I thought went very nicely. And I'm going to grab some of that. And on the flower in the centre, you'll see as well that these actually lift up. So we will be lifting them up, but not just yet. I just want to put some of this colour down into the centre of my flower. So I'm just going around the centre of my flower, just sort of picking up the colour. I don't want all of the petals to be coloured. Well, I want all of them for them to be colour on it, but I don't want them to be all coloured. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do. So let's just do this one as well. Then just going to grab a green, because I just want to put some onto the leaves, because I want the leaves to be a little tone of green. So let me just grab a green. I'm going for the dye-based one. I'll see what this one comes out like. So we'll load up the dauber, and going in the same direction that the leaves are. Otherwise, otherwise that'll happen. Just going to pick up, and I think I'm going to put 2 colour greens on it because this one is nice, but it's a bit yellowy, and I wanted a darker green, so I will just put is it emerald? Yeah, emerald. Why does that remind me of a cow? I don't know. So a bit of a mixture of our greens. Why does it remind me of a cow? I don't know really. Ermintrude was a cow, wasn't she? Anyone else familiar with Ermintrude being a cow? I don't know. Right, now then, I'm going to find a little bone folder. I'm going to pick up each one of the petals separately. I'm going to really hold on to this bit down the bottom here because I want to really support that so that I don't rip it. I mean, generally petals will look all right if you don't rip it. If you did rip it, if there was loads of them, but as there's only one layer, do you know what? They might look a bit odd. So I'm just supporting it, but holding it at its weakest point, which is down the bottom. And I'm just lifting each of the petals up and pulling them. Obviously, for this design, you could use any flowers that you have got. I just fancied doing this. I saw one actually, the Lisa Horton's page, and I thought how pretty it looked. So here's my take on it. So that's lifting my flowers up there. And I'm going to do one here. Just gradually lifting them up like so. Whilst I'm doing this, we'll say that at 6 o'clock tonight, you may well have noticed it, but John Lockwood has a new selection of the most gorgeous, luscious colours of card coming up. They are available in packs of 10, which are satin and gloss mix, and they are just to die for. So they will be available from me as well at that time, but they're beautiful. So I think you might need to treat yourself to something like that later on. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Now, I'm not quite sure about these leaves now. They're looking a bit psychedelic to me, the colours that I've put on them. So let me just be sure that that's what I want to do. So I'm bringing my card back in. Now, do I want psychedelic? Because that's how I'm going to put them. Well, they're not too psychedelic, are they? I think I need another little green on there, though. Wait a minute. Let's tone it. Oh, gosh. Let's tone it down with a different colour. It could be less is more at this stage, but who knows? I'm going for a colour in the other quick dry inks. Who knows? We'll try that one as well. I mean, leaves are all different colours, so we're okay. I just don't know about that. Hold on. So let's bring these back in. I can still use the green that I had before, but I will take a little bit, if I can, of that colour off, because it's held a lot of the colour, but we go for this one. Pick that one up. That's a bit better, I reckon. Softening it down a bit. That's better. Didn't need it quite so psychedelic, did we? That's better. So just toning that down. Obviously, you could actually cut, as I say, you could use any of your flowers for this, but you could also cut some of your ordinary leaves off, and you could cut these out of green cards, so you could layer this one up completely if you felt the need to do so. So, okay, bringing our card back in. So we've now got our beautiful little flowers that are going to sit either side of this ray. So we've made it really, although it is a sun rays, we've now made it into something a little bit different. We're not looking at it as if it's the sun anymore. And I think that I'm going to keep those out. So I have got those, and now I've got enough for another card. I don't think I want to put them in. So I'm going to lay my flowers down. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue. Now I'm not going to put the glue on the petals because I want the petals to stick up. So I'm just going to put little dobs of glue onto the back of some of the leaf bits and onto the outer sort of rim of my flowers there. But again, if you're using a flower that you've already got, you wouldn't be doing it quite like that. So let's just pop that into position down there. And the same with this one. So I can't see what you're doing, what you're saying at the same time. So I do apologise if anyone has asked any questions or anything. I do apologise if you have, that I can't see it. I will look in just a second. Oh, get them in the same position so that they're down. But I think, oh, Ermintrude the cow. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It was what did we say? The magic roundabout? Yeah, that's right. The magic roundabout. Yeah. Good old Ermintrude the cow, eh? Going to put a little dot of glue into the center because I want to put some gems in there and I want to be sure that they're going to stay in there. So I'm going to just pop a little bit of glue. Just pick those up like that. Hold on, I need to just lift my flower up again a bit more. Now, I've also got a couple of little sentiments that I just wanted to pop at the top there. And that's what I want to put on there. Just wanted to say that for you. So I'm just going to trim that down a little bit more. You can see I cut it out by hand, and really I shouldn't do. I wanted it to be a bit better cut out like that. I also wanted it to be a fraction shorter, to be honest with you. So a fraction shorter it is. And I'm going to pop a little tiny bit of foam onto the back there. And I'm going to go for a thinner foam than I normally would do. She says, hoping. I think this is a 2mm, so we'll go with a 2mm. And I'm taking it from actual a sheet rather than my roll, because I don't think that the roll will be too wide to go onto these sentiments. So I just want to do it like that. Whoops, flicked it over there. So just pop that onto the back and one onto the smaller one. I'm hungry. I bet some of you are sitting there eating biscuits as well as having a cup of tea or coffee. And I'm sitting here hungry, so I'm going to have to rectify that in a minute, aren't I? Can't have me hungry, you know. It's just not on. Hungry. Our fridge freezer fiasco. The man has been today for those of you who are bothered about the fact, of course, that I don't have a fridge freezer at the moment and haven't had since Saturday. I dare say the vast majority of you have not even thought about my dilemma. I know what you like. I know what you like. It's just craft in our house, isn't it? In your house, rather. It's going to go there. The man came today and said my less than 2-year-old fridge freezer has had it. Yeah, not good. Not good. So subsequently, we have another one that has been ordered and will be here tomorrow. So then you'll be pleased to hear I'll be all right then. I can't believe how many times I've needed to look in the fridge or the freezer for something. We do have a small freezer outside and small fridge outside, actually, but we have to keep going out to it. And having to go out, it's just not good enough, is it? Right, anyway, so you have heard my tales of woe now, so all is well. So here is my card for today. So I used, let me just show you again where the packets are. Hold on. I used the Slimline Sun Ray panel. And as you can see, it doesn't look much like a sun ray now. Well, it kind of does if you were to hold it round that way, I suppose. But we've made it into that type of a card this time. And I have also incorporated it with the Slimline Bouquet corner, which, as I said, we used as a workshop for the month of February. So if you do have that, but you could also, of course, use any other flower or leaf dye because it would look nice. And I've cut it out and used it onto my DL card, but I've also used, because we decided to do it like that as we went along, I've used a variegated card, and then I've just used it so that it sort of variegates from the mauve out to the pink, which looks quite nice. It might not look like that on your camera, but it does in real life. Well, my fridge freezer. Well, thank you, Alison. Thank you for paying attention. Apparently, because it's a year's guarantee on it, warranty on it, that's it. They tell me that, you know, I don't have a leg to stand on with it. So there you go. 2 years is rubbish, but if you've only got a year's guarantee on it, then what can you do? So you'll be also pleased to hear that the one that we are getting now has got a 5-year warranty on it. So all is well. I just wish I'd looked at that, but you wouldn't have thought it, because although you don't expect things to last like they used to, you don't expect them to last for just a few minutes, do you? So it's a Bouquet, Jeanette, sorry. It's a Bouquet. So nothing exciting, cheap and cheerful, but you still don't expect it to not last. I mean, we've had other products by the same company and they are all absolutely fine. So there you go. But it's getting sorted. Yes, it's getting sorted. And I got my crafts, so it don't matter. Okay, so that was the card for February. And I think you may have noticed, sorry, banging and crashing here. I think that you may have noticed that I have got I've got a few spaces left or not left, because I had only just done it, for the March classes. And I will just show you that. We are going to be using an A4 book die by Press Cuts, which you get as your deal. And I'll just zoom this out of the way so that you can see what we will be doing. That doesn't show up very well, does it? Let me just lift it on its side. It's hard to show you when it's on its side. So that's what we're going to be doing for my March class. So everyone will be receiving the massive A4 book die by Press Cuts. And you will get all of the embellishments. You may wish to do it like I've done it, but there's scope for you to be able to do it in different ways. So that's for March. Those of you who normally come and are already booked your place, don't worry about having to book it online. The ones that I've put online are purely just for the spare places. So do not panic. Okay. If you have already got the book dies, because they're not a new thing, That is quite acceptable, and we simply use the money that you would pay for your class, we use it as a credit towards anything else. So if you have got the book dies, you will need the book dies to be used on the day, and that's absolutely fine, but you can do it that way if you prefer. And the good thing is that it all folds down and fits into an 8x8 envelope, completely flat. So, but for today, we had this lovely card, and I like that card. I think that's nice. So I hope you liked it as well. Thank you for joining me today, and I will be back on Friday morning at 10 o'clock. I have got some fancy folds that I haven't done, so I really ought to get my act into gear for those. But don't forget this evening at 6 o'clock, we'll go live on the website, the beautiful satin and gloss cards and the embossing folders as well. So that's something to look forward to. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. Have a great day. Oh, someone got a birthday? Brenda Barish, happy birthday. I've only just noticed that. Phew, thank goodness I did. So that's great. Oh yeah, booking, if you do want to go on the website, go over to the crafty workshop section on the maximumcrafts.com and you will find it there. Okay, take care everyone, stay safe, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.